This is the rootinest, tootinest show this side of the Mississippi. This podcast is 10 pounds of crazy in a 5-pound sack. So butter me up and call me a biscuit, because you'll be as surprised as me to see what this posse of banditos has in store for you tonight.
Welcome back, Wagoneers, to another exciting episode of the Wasted Wagons podcast. Today we have the twins here, Todd, Travis, we have Patrick, and we have Sean. Once again, we are riding a four-man crew this evening. Mike is not able to make it with us. Seems like he's on like a permanent vacation. I don't know.
Has Mike been shadow banned by someone?
I don't know, not any of us, but whatever's going on, Mike, we wish you well, and we hope to have you back on the pod soon. Where we left off on our last pod, we talked a lot about college baseball. We even mentioned that we were going, we recorded on a Sunday night, and we mentioned that we were going to a Tulane versus UNO baseball game, actually at Tulane, so I guess it would be UNO versus Tulane. Mm-hmm. We went there on Tuesday. We're more so UNO fans at this table. Not that we hate Tulane by any stretch, but
wait, we don't.
Go ahead.
You don't hate Tulane?
Okay. I go to the football games with Josh all the time. Mm-hmm. I like him better than LSU. But the game ended up going in Tulane's favor. We kind of thought it would. We thought Tulane was going to kind of have a little bit of a bounce back year compared to last year. But what were y'all's thoughts on the game while going? Sean, you weren't there, so. But what was?
I still enjoy baseball games.
It felt like a bad game was going to happen when they scored. How they scored their first run, with the guy getting 2 extra bases on the wild throw to first, and then stealing home. Yeah. Right then and there, that put them up 1-0. I was like, this just doesn't feel like it's going to be a good game from then on. And from then, they just started tattooing the ball.
And then I think Tulane ended the game with it was 4 home runs, I believe, huh? One of them happened while I was pissing at a urinal in the bathroom, and something Tulane does when they hit home runs now is they flicker the stadium lights, so you can hear the crowd screaming and you can see the lights flickering while I'm using the urinal. So you figured something was going on, and then my son runs back into the bathroom. He's like, "Dad, they just hit a home run," and I'm like, "You think?" So it was a good offensive game by Tulane. Overall, not really a terrible game for UNO, but
no.
But it's a 3-game series for the Pelican Cup. UNO has had it for the past couple of years, and I hope they hold on to it. But they'll have to win the second and third meetings in order to claim it back.
We'll be at the next one when it's at UNO in about a month or so.
Yep. Well, we tried to make it this weekend to this series against Alabama A&M. UNO had a nice clean sweep of the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. Today, the bats were just exploding today. Fun little fact, my son is actually getting trained by his hitting coach is Christian Poche, who used to play for UNO. And one thing that he kind of told me, we were talking right before the season started about how UNO had kind of lost a lot of bats with losing Caston-Furr and Tyler Bischke and Tristan Moore. And he was saying, he heard that they had signed some or just got some guys to commit who had really good bats. And I think we're kind of starting to see shades of that now with Castillo, of course, Isaac Williams and our guy Mitchell Sanford just playing out of his mind. One guy that came up really big today, and he's pretty much what I've been saying is he's got over a 300 batting average already. I believe he played his high school ball at Jesuit. Is Colin Loop playing shortstop? He's another guy Todd mentioned that Micah Hyde swings the bat Micah New swings the bat.
Guy plays 2 sports now.
I'm mixing up names like last week with Terrence which, by the way, we're at Sean's house and we get to see these lovely Terrence Osborne paintings.
Terrence Howard paintings.
So I'm sorry I mixed that, but Micah New, Todd mentioned that he swings the bat like he's cutting down a tree. I've kind of noticed that about Colin Loop as well. So yeah, their bats really went off today. Mike and you also had a 3-run bomb today. But look, Mitchell Sanford, our follows the pod, and he just continues to. I mean, he's batting close to 500 right now.
He had from what I saw in the stat guide, he had a weekend. He had good offensive performances. The last 2 days for sure. I didn't see the Friday score, but I know Saturday and today he was hitting the ball pretty well.
I know they finished 2 out of 3 games by run ruling him. And before they run ruled him today, he had 2 doubles and a home run. So he is swinging a very hot bat. And, I'm curious to see if he ends up being Southland Player of the Week for his performance, actually.
And, overall, I mean, yeah, I think they just ran into a better pitching matchup when we went to the game. But, yeah, they've got their offense. They've got some good hitters. And they had some good hits during the Tulane game. It's just some of them they couldn't string enough base runners together to take advantage of them. But a couple hard hit balls, a couple balls that were hit really well went foul. One of them had been fair. It was the absolute 400, probably almost a 400-foot home run. The dude crushed the ball, but ended up going foul. So I kind of expected the Tulane pitching staff to be pretty good, and they showed up that night. But we'll see how that plays out when they come back to the base.
And remember we talked a little bit last week about the kind of the beauty of Tulane stadiums when you're talking about both their football field and their baseball field, Turchin Stadium, and we gave some praise to Masonry Field as well, and credited probably Blake Dean with a lot of that as far as getting money into that stadium and making it look nice. If you looked at the games this weekend against Alabama A&M, UNO definitely won the uniform game this weekend.
Yes,
they had on the nice pinstripes today. And look, I'm not knocking Alabama A&M, but their jerseys looked like they were ironed-on numbers that looked similar to when Todd and I coached hockey in high school. The first jerseys we ever got there, which were not very impressively made, reminded me a lot of that. So yeah, UNO definitely won the uniform game this weekend as well, in addition to the actual game.
Yeah. Speaking of the uniform game, Tulane, at least their Instagram brought out their black unis, and they looked pretty fresh. And then I think they came out with the baby blue for today, maybe. I was never really a fan of Tulane wearing black jerseys for either football or baseball, but I guess over the last season or two, I've seen them take a better look at them, and they're pretty fresh.
I mean, Tulane in general, though, even for football, like I said, I go to a lot of football games with Josh. I've always loved the Angry Wave logo on the helmet, on that white helmet. I feel like that it just stands out. It pops, especially when you get the baby blue jersey. It just looks really good. But they also, and a lot of teams did this, a lot of college teams did this, where they kind of had the logo where it was kind of zoomed in.
Yeah, it was big on the helmet.
It was big. So they had the Angry Wave on the green helmet. And I think the jerseys that they were also green. It looked really good. Actually had the Mississippi State helmet with the zoomed in bulldog.
I've been trying to get an Angry Wave. Well, just wishing and hoping that they would make an Angry Wave 5950, which they're never gonna, because college always has those 47 hats and the dad hats and that kind of stuff.
I was joking with Josh during the game when we were watching. Honestly, it felt like the only reason that Tulane won that game is because they had a better shoe game than UNO did. Couple Tulane players were wearing some Jordans. I think I saw a pair of high top J1s on a player or two, and I'm trying to say that's what led them to the victory.
Yeah, I like that they had a lot of them had the white and sky blue mix on the shoes. And
even one of the hitting coaches, or the base coaches, had a pair of white and baby blue Jays on. So shout out to Tulane for doing their swag right.
One thing I noticed about at the stadium is that they had a wall of retired numbers, kind of sitting behind us.
Oh yeah.
And really, they only had 4 guys. It's number 12, Carrie D. Livingston, number 27, Milt Retief, number 25, Joe Brockhoff, and of course number 10, Rick Jones, the head coach. I mean, we were all kind of familiar with him. He was the Tulane coach in our era growing up, led him to a couple of World Series. But my question is, why is the number 24 of Jake Gautreaux not on there? Jake the Gautreaux. I mean, he was pretty much a staple when he was at Tulane, and he's actually currently Mississippi State's hitting coach. But he was an absolute phenom when he was at Tulane.
Maybe his time is coming. Maybe they've got one planned for him. I don't know. He should be on there, but I don't know. That's a good question. I don't. Does UNO even have anything like that on there at the stadium?
I don't think they have retired numbers, but there's a section just on the side of the bleachers that has basically their College World Series appearances and I guess the division titles as well. They got this big old wooden bat with some artwork painted on it. But I don't believe they have any retired numbers, not that I've noticed. But I've noticed that they've been to the College World Series the same number of times as Tulane, just twice.
Or has Tulane been 3 times, I think.
I think I only saw it twice on there, but maybe...
maybe 3. Not certain. But yeah, it was we'll see how the game goes when they get back to... We again apologize for interrupting Tori, the podcast. She's currently in a Roblox battle, apparently, it sounds like.
It's very intense.
I wish you well, Tori.
But, we talk a lot about, going to ballparks and traveling to go see stadiums. And we're, still confirmed it's been twice that Tulane has been to the College World Series. Thank you for that. And I don't mean to cut you off. And, we've talked about the wagons. The wagons take the wagon to St. Louis this summer. But, it just doesn't necessarily have to get away from college baseball either. But every time you're at a ballpark, there's plenty of good food usually. You can actually usually smell it in the stadium as you're walking in. What is y'all's go-to ballpark food?
Hot dog. Probably 2, maybe 3, sometimes 4.
I usually like to try the hot dogs, like if they have, ballpark franks or something, just to, get a good quality fresh hot dog. Yeah. Put that line of mustard on it.
And ketchup.
Well,
just
mustard. Patrick likes ketchup. But we're talking a little bit different from home because you might have more options available as far as what you can put on, not just traditional ketchup, mustard, mayo, cheese.
Chili.
Is there anything that you like on it outside of that?
Nope.
Relish?
You onions. I don't have to do relish, but onions.
Yeah.
Also give a shout out to some nachos. Nachos with the good nacho cheese.
Oh, fuck.
You having problems there, Todd?
Yeah, the fucking little thing didn't... Oh, man.
You squirted all over us.
Pretty much will pop.
You squirtle.
Squirtle.
I'll get you a napkin. Don't move. I'll go get you a towel.
Yeah, I'm a traditional kind of guy. Just give me a dog. Give me some nachos, maybe some popcorn.
Thanks, Sean.
Peanuts, the usual.
Yep.
I don't need to do anything fancy like some sort of sandwich or an over the top meal. It's nice, but I'm a simple guy. That's the thing I loved about going to games at the Shrine on Airline. Just $2 hot dogs on Thursday to go with a Thirsty Thursday beer. I mean, I would just pile up 3 or 4 of those and be good for a night. So I'm easy to please on that one.
Yeah, I don't think I've gotten anything different at a ballpark other than a hot dog. I mean, it's just that's pretty much a tradition for me. It's like, as I've mentioned on the last pod, Travis and I like to go see Major League ballparks. We have the little scratch-off list. I think every one I go to, I usually end with a hot dog. I usually go to and get a hot dog and a beer. I've seen some parks offer gourmet hot dogs. Like Baltimore, I think, has one with crab meat on it, of course.
I forget what I got at the Rangers. I got some foot long. I forget if I have a picture of that, but it was definitely a foot long, and it was outside the boat on both sides. And I felt kind of embarrassed eating it, holding the boat and biting the ends, but. I forget what it was piled with stuff. But
kind of like what Sean mentioned earlier, when you go to a ballpark and get a hot dog, they're not the cafeteria quality hot dogs that's right on the outside, white on the inside. It's good quality hot dog. It's you kind of taste the difference when you bite into it.
It's girthy.
It's juicy and girthy.
Speaking of, what I don't want to sponsor from is fucking Sonic. I got rid of the Chicago dog.
They got rid of that pretzel dog.
I used to love the Chicago dog, you bastards.
So fuck you, Sonic.
With the big tomatoes and the pickles.
Well, I think if we had any shot, but I remember the softball days that we would go out there
pretzel bun.
Dogs.
I remember the pretzel bun or whatever had just come out, and we went right after one of our sessions, batting practice.
Oh yeah,
and got the pretzels, hot dogs and burgers or something.
Yeah, they've definitely cut down the dog menu to what, just the regular Coney,
Cheese
the
Coney?
foot-long Coney,
I haven't
and
been to Sonic
maybe
in years now because
I think they have
Scarlett
one.
actually, so when Carson was in Disney World, Scarlett actually requested to go to Sonic just to get some kind of dessert.
Cheese coney?
And I gotta say, like,
actual
the dessert, with me and Heather both partook in it just to go along with her. And I got an ice cream with cookie dough bites in it. I mean, it literally was. They filled up a cup with vanilla ice cream and dropped a couple of cookie dough pieces on top. And I say it was pretty disappointing. And they called it like, I don't know what they call Luz. It's a blast, I think.
Oh, blast!
The Oreo blast and all that.
And I'm thinking I'm getting like cookie dough all the way down to the bottom. It's just like they literally it's just like like the guy sprinkling salt.
Yeah, they don't mix it all.
It's no DQ Blizzard, I guess.
No.
But if you're doing like dessert stuff at a ballpark, it's got to be Dippin' Dots, right? Out of the mini baseball helmet,
Yeah, I mean,
it's a must.
it just hits different.
So we'll tell two stories on that. We mentioned that
Dippin' Dots.
Milwaukee was the park this summer, and we talked about specialty dogs. Their specialty dog was that they had brats, and they had a couple of different styles of brats, and different things on them. And I think I got mine with like Swiss cheese melted on top. Might even had some mushrooms on it or something like that. But Milwaukee has a famous frozen custard place, which is basically just like soft serve ice cream. But that's what they served in their little mini helmets. And
Andes?
I think it was called. You remember the name of it?
I have no clue.
I forgot the name of it, but they call it frozen custard, and they serve it there in the little brewers helmets, and both of our boys ended up getting one. And of course, you go up there and they're like, well, do you want it in a regular cup or do you want it in a Sylvania Batten helmet?
That shouldn't be an option. It should only be served out of the little helmet.
Yeah.
So
And I think the helmet was only like $1 or $2 more, so it was like made.
Cops. Is that those? That's the one you're
Cops
talking about?
frozen custard. Yep.
like the Big Boss Man cops.
Yeah.
Okay.
From Cobb County, Georgia.
Yeah.
With a K though.
The big blue.
Probably 3 Ks. They're from Cobb County, Georgia.
Wow.
Just saying.
But
Wait.
I'm with y'all though. Like anytime you go to a ballpark, college or pro, it's a hot dog. Like I don't even like maybe a bag of peanuts on the side sometimes, but if my main course is going to be a ballpark hot dog or two, and always goes well with a beer.
Do they still serve Cracker Jacks at stadiums?
I think so. They're probably on the rack with the candy and stuff.
I mean, Mom had a baseball themed party for my son today, and my sister made him a cake with his jersey on it. But on the side, she had boxes of Cracker Jack. I haven't had Cracker Jack in probably about 10 years.
Oh, you know what? No, they do, because I'm forgetting now when when I went to Nebraska and was going through all the work, and it was going to all the stadiums, and we did baseball and softball. We had to go in concession stands, and they did have Cracker Jacks on a rack. I'm like picturing it now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if I took a picture of it, because it's to see all that shut down and like behind all the roll up doors, and it's like, oh, look at all this and big old fridge of beer.
But let's be honest, no one's buying Cracker Jacks at the stadium anymore. Yeah. It's played out.
And a box of them is probably like $4.50 or something retarded.
Well, that was probably big though, back in like the 1920s.
I mean, maybe I don't think Cracker Jacks were around in the 20s. Maybe 60s, 70s.
Why is it in the song?
Forget the ring. I found it in a Cracker Jack box.
I'm gonna let me say it. The song's overrated.
Oh yeah.
What song?
The 7th inning stretch.
Oh, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Yeah. Oof.
But Patrick mentioned the idea of putting onions on a hot dog. Like normally at home, I'm probably not putting onions on a hot dog, but at a ballpark, they're there.
Yeah,
I'm probably
sometimes
throwing them on. And Sean mentioned the idea of Sonic used to have the Chicago style dog. If the ballpark serves a Chicago style dog, I might be getting that. So.
What are you looking up?
this-
Extra long
this-
cheese conies?
This is messing with me because I typed in Sonic Chicago Dog and it goes, order our Chicago Dog online now, Sonic Drive-In.
I think they still have it.
But then when I click on like this, how many calories, or wait, does Sonic still have the Chicago Dog? And you click right there. They discontinued them right there. So,
But that was the same thing that happened when I was looking for the sweet potato sun chips.
really?
I clicked on Walmart site and it said order them now.
And see, like
or
this-
it's in stock at the one on Vets.
Uh-huh.
So I'll go look for them and
Wait,
they're
what flavor?
sweet potato.
Oh, the sweet potato. Yeah, I haven't seen those at Target in like
So then I
months.
go looking for them and they have like 2 bags of sun chips. Like those old chip aisles they rated.
But then I go click online, it says they're discontinued and whatnot.
Like this, it says how many calories is in a Chicago dog? It says 430, but this is from like 2011.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I'll click on this link later, and maybe it was like it just hurt my soul when I went into the Sonic Drive-In. Oh, can I get 2 Chicago dogs? And like, oh, we discontinued those. And I was like, all right, bye.
Yeah. I will write a strongly worded email to Sonic about their lack of dog options now. Not to jump off topic, but we don't need to debate or bring up the debate of what you put on the hot dog. We've already done that before. Yeah. I know how y'all feel. Y'all know how I feel about condiments on dogs. But I don't know your opinion on something that's always been a debate, and it is pizza rolls or bagel bites.
I mean, I like them both. But yeah, I feel like with bagel bites, you get the best of both worlds. You know, I'm a big bagel guy. I like having a bagel in the morning from time to time. I like to have bagels with peanut butter. I like having bagels with cream cheese. I like having them plain. Mm-hmm. But you get the best of both worlds with bagels and pizza in a bagel bite. I mean, it's just delicious.
I mean, what is the bread on a pizza roll? Some processed Hot Pocket shit?
I don't care.
I'm not going to complain about the bread on the pizza roll because it's pretty good, you know? It's just, the problem is it can be like lukewarm on the outside and you make, it's ready to eat. And you bite into that shit and it squirts in your mouth. And then it's you got 3rd-degree burns sitting on the roof of your mouth.
Exactly.
That is the big knock on pizza rolls, that like if you do them anywhere other than the oven, it's the inconsistency of the outside versus the inside. It's a problem. Here's the problem with the bagel bite. Let's say it's 2 a.m. You get home. You're hammer drunk. It's going to take you so long to get bagel bites to an edible temperature.
To put them in the oven on a cookie sheet.
Yeah. When I can just, listen, in a pinch, if you got to the microwave, 2.5 minutes. Yes, you're going to burn and scorch the roof of your mouth, but they're done in 2.5 minutes. Give me the pizza rolls.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like at parties, though, like bagel bites when people have had them. Like, they're easy to it's like finger sandwiches. They're easy to just grab and pop in your mouth and, not have to worry that you're going to scald yourself. But I guess pizza rolls can be the same way, too, if they've been sitting out,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably basically mimic what Todd said. I think there's definitely no hate towards pizza rolls. Like if they're at a party and they're cooled down, I would definitely eat them. And I think they're delicious. But if I had to have one on the left hand, one on the right hand, I'm probably choosing the bagel bite as well. Just for the fact, same thing that Todd said. I'm a bagel fan as well. I like the idea of all the things that Todd said as well: peanut butter, cream cheese. And the fact that you can put pizza on top.
With the peanut butter and cream cheese?
Now we're getting weird.
All separate. But, and then, plain as well. But yeah, the pizza on top of the bagel, I'd choose that over the pizza roll.
I guess I'm in the minority on this one, taking the pizza rolls.
This sounds like something we should taste test, because I feel like I've had pizza rolls definitely more recent, but then... I just remember bagel bites going as far back as a kid and having them at like birthday parties and stuff.
But let me ask you this, keeping on the same thing with either of them, do you put anything on top of them, like any kind of like sauce, or do you have anything on the side for them? Because I like to put sriracha sauce on my bagel bites and on my pizza rolls when they come out. It's for a little something extra.
That sounds good, but I usually just eat mine plain. It's similar on that, though, is I know... Don't bagel bites make a couple of different versions with some with like a little chopped up pepperoni, some with a little chopped up sausage, and some with just cheese? Do you have a preference on your favorite type of bagel bite?
Just give me pepperoni bagel bites and give me the Meat Lovers pizza rolls.
Okay.
Ooh, that too. The bagel bites that had those little cube pepperonis on them. That's what brings me back on those.
Yeah. Should have had some bagel bites ready for pod.
That's what I was saying. We should have a taste off.
Sounds like next episode we got something.
You know what? Whoever's hosting the next one, I will bring the pizza rolls and or the bagel bites, and we can prep ahead of time. But you got to give at least 20 minutes for a bagel bites.
I guess it'll be at my house because
just the same amount of time it takes for the pizza rolls to cool off. Cuisine.
Yeah, you know what? You could
Pretty much.
You could have the pizza rolls as the appetizer for the bagel bites as the
And I
entree.
cut them with a knife and fork and let them cool off and air them out.
You could.
But if you have the pizza rolls as an appetizer, you may not be able to eat the bagel bites.
You won't be able to taste the bagel bites.
I'll see a problem there.
Well, I seared all my taste buds off.
Sticking with a food debate, let me ask you another one. When you go to get wings, are you a drum guy? Are you a flat guy? Or do you go just the mix of whatever they serve you, just both?
What is a flat?
The regular wing, just the flat wing with a little.
I mean, I'm not really that big of a chicken wing kind of guy though.
What?
But I would go with the drumstick.
Yeah.
I'm really not a chicken wing guy.
You're not a wing guy?
No.
How about the extra?
I don't really
I'm a boneless wing guy. I like boneless over.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Patrick. I don't really like bones in my chicken, so I usually just eat like chicken breast.
Okay. I mean, I like chicken breast too, for multiple, not for just the eating healthy part.
But for the sake of the topic of this debate, I would choose the drumstick over the flat.
So you're willing to pay extra for drums only? Or you just kind of go with whatever?
Do you pay extra?
Like if you were going on, say we were going to Hooters, or Buffalo Wild Wings, or whatever.
I mean, I remember getting both at Hooters.
Well, I've been at parties where I think when Heather and I actually hosted the Halloween party over at the Jelky House, we actually bought a tray of Hooters wings, and I would more so take the drums than the flats. But yeah, I think we had a nice mix there. We didn't just request drums, but.
I will normally take drums over flats, and sometimes I'll pay the extra $1, whatever it is, per 10 to have drums. But I don't mind a flat and pulling it apart. It's not a big issue for me.
But I remember the Hooters wings. I used to take it all off. Take everything I could before off the bone, and then douse it in blue cheese.
Oh. I'm glad you brought that up.
What a segue!
Ranch or blue cheese?
Absolutely, I've been a blue cheese fan ever since day one. I mean, I don't hate ranch, but blue cheese is always my. I get it on salad. I get it on everything. Blue cheese wedge. I love.
Would you put blue cheese on your bagel bites? Would you drizzle a little blue cheese on top?
Maybe. They're buffalo flavored. If you had some buffalo,
you could just sprinkle some buffalo sauce and some
buffalo chicken,
blue cheese on there.
What if you take your pizza rolls, dip it in buffalo sauce, or toss them in buffalo sauce?
There you go.
That would probably be really good.
With some ranch on top. I'll tell you what, I'll do that. I'll take the pizza rolls, do the pizza rolls with some buffalo sauce and maybe a little ranchy on the side.
I remember I got a burger at a place called. Y'all heard of the Spinnaker in Panama City Beach, right? It was it was one of the big clubs next to Club La Vela. But they actually had a burger joint right behind it. It might have even been associated with it.
I think it was. It was part.
And I remember it was probably one of my favorite burgers I've ever had because you could actually get like buffalo sauce on the burger, and it was really good. It's a little off topic, but the burger at Club La Vela, the buffalo sauce is really good. If I'm choosing between ranch and blue cheese, I'm going ranch.
My man.
But if we're opening up this whole discussion to salad dressings, I mean, I like Thousand Island the best.
Yeah, I was going to say there's plenty of good salad dressings, but I don't know why blue cheese has always been my go-to.
But if I'm choosing between ranch and blue cheese, I'm choosing ranch, and especially, again going back to getting that tray of wings and having the options of dipping between blue cheese and ranch. I do like dipping buffalo wings in ranch.
On a side note, carrots are overrated as a side with your wings. Celery, you could probably get that out of here too. But carrots
are overrated in general.
The celery is just so I can eat the rest of the blue cheese and not look like a heathen dipping my finger in it or like tongue in the freaking cup. Actually, when it comes like I do with cane.
if it comes to vegetables, we probably just hit two of the most overrated vegetables right there in general: carrots and celery.
Carrots are good. Celery tastes like paper.
Then what do carrots taste like?
Don't insult people like that.
Carrots have flavor.
Do they?
The mini carrots, yeah, and the baby carrots. And
I only use baby carrots to dip in
ranch?
No, to dip in peanut butter.
Oh, okay.
For a health conscious kind of thing, but I don't mind it. I like little baby carrots with like a crunchy peanut butter or a smooth Jif.
Okay.
It's pronounced Jif.
I think we just opened up a separate conversation. We're going back in the day here, Sean.
What?
Peter Pan or Jif?
Peter Pan all the way. I can just feel my mouth being stuck together with Jif in my mouth.
With what in your mouth?
With Jif in my mouth.
Oh, okay.
I replaced that F with a Z.
Jif.
Hey, but whatever you do in your spare time, bud.
Like the commercial with Ludacris rapping with Jif in his mouth. That's pretty accurate.
I remember.
Travis, Jif or Peter Pan?
Peter Pan. I still buy Peter Pan at the grocery.
I got it right there.
I try to look for the natural kind, but it'll always be my favorite brand.
Why is it so hard to find?
First off, I didn't get a lot of groceries only sell the small bottles of Peter Pan, which kind of small jars, which kind of pissed me off a little bit. I didn't even get to put my input on the damn ranch or blue cheese yet.
We just running all over things.
I'll answer both of these questions though. I would choose. Although I don't particularly like either ranch or blue cheese, I would choose ranch because I do get the Chipotle ranch at Whole Foods on my salad. And that's actually really good.
Creamy Caesar. No, I'm kidding.
But if we're going Peter Pan or Jif, I'm choosing Peter Pan. So I still buy it.
You know what?
The Peter Pan Natural is the way to go.
What I do get at Chick-fil-A with the wrap is the avocado lime ranch. Love that wrap.
We're talking about all these different ways to use ranch, but what other kind of ways do we use blue cheese?
I don't, because I don't like blue cheese on anything. Crumbled in salad dressing form doesn't matter.
Actually, since we're talking about blue cheese, a couple of the ladies last night at our dinner got martinis. And the waiter asked them if they wanted blue cheese olives with the martinis. And that's the first time I had ever heard of a blue cheese olive. But
I see them in the grocery store a lot. Like you go on the aisle, they have like one stuff with garlic or jalapenos, and I see the blue cheese.
It's an olive coated in blue cheese. It's like the blue cheese stuffed inside
the olive.
It's drop them in the drink.
It's not bad in the olive, but I'm taking garlic stuffed olives over anything like that though.
Oh, Sarge might win.
Probably not.
It's funny. It's funny you mention the carrots. It's like when you say like the baby carrots and dipping, it's like I have to have ranch for some reason. I guess because that's always been a thing.
Yeah.
Because it's better.
But I'm just saying is that blue cheese has its place too.
No, yeah, trash.
I mean, I'm choosing French or honey mustard on my salad. So I mean, but like I said, they don't really have those options on the Whole Foods salad bar. So I do get the Chipotle ranch. So I go with ranch.
Blue cheese wedge is a New Orleans staple. It's a big ass half head of lettuce with bacon and blue cheese. Good shit.
There's a company called Green Goodness. They make an avocado ranch salad dressing. Pretty healthy, but it's pretty tasty too. That's my go-to right now salad dressing. I was talking about this earlier. I've never been to Olive Garden, but the Olive Garden.
Did he just say he's never been to Olive Garden?
I have never.
I mean, I'm not saying Olive Garden is great, but road trip.
It's a Metairie?
On the table at Olive Garden. Do they even have any Olive Gardens around other than the one Kenner?
Kennebrock.
Maybe the one in the West. Maybe it might be one in the West Bank.
One in the West Bank?
There's got to be more than one.
Roadhouse.
This will be great. We're going to do a pod from Olive Garden. Patrick's never had the bread. What do you think about the breadsticks? Patrick, what do you think about the salad? Patrick, what do you think about the never-ending fettuccine?
Listen, I'm sure there's something that's edible.
The tour of Italy, which is more like the tour of one city.
It's a tour of Kenner.
Tour of Kennebrock.
No, you can go to Costco and buy like the Olive Garden salad dressing. I think I won't say Italian is the one, but that's actually pretty good.
It's good.
Mm-hmm. And I think they have a honey mustard too, maybe.
The Olive Garden Italian tastes just like the salad dressing they use at the restaurant. Yeah. And I'm sure that's what they're going
The
for.
salad's the best thing now. Last time I went there, it was like the tour of Italy was sad. Like, everything was small portions, and, it's like I should have loaded up more on the salad, because the salad's still good.
Well, what I used to get, my original favorite and go-to there was the manicotti formaggio. And they took it off the menu. It's discontinued, much like the Chicago dog at Sonic.
I
got to fight to look for things to get on that menu.
I'm going to be on this because I'm looking at an article from 2013 that's talking about the discontinuation of the Chicago dog in 2017, and with the rationale behind. Wasn't very forthcoming with the rationale behind this.
What about the cheese pretzel dog? Is that a cup of that?
Yeah.
That shit was delicious.
But it looks like you can order it right now, so I'm gonna do some digging on this.
No offense to any of you Olive Garden lovers, but I don't think you're going to get me to go to an Olive Garden. I've made it 41 years without going to one. I don't really think I need to change this.
Pizza rolls to Olive Garden.
Mike's favorite restaurant is Texas Roadhouse. Tom's and I's birthday's coming up, so I might just say, I get the wives to plan. So where do y'all want to eat? Like, I want a group trip to Olive Garden.
You know what? I'm sick that day.
Why? Why do you want to go to Olive Garden? Don't worry about it.
Like a pre-prom party. We go to Olive Garden.
You can just FaceTime me in from the table at Olive Garden while y'all are there, because
feed the screen. Hey,
Patrick, would you like another breadstick?
Sure. I'm sure the breadsticks are okay. The never-ending salad and breadsticks, cool, whatever. But I can't. I would rather go get like Marie Callender's frozen Italian and just nuke that in the microwave than have to go deal with Olive Garden. And probably the people that eat there.
True.
Man.
When the waiting, when people, all in the lobby and out the door is pretty ridiculous.
I just see a lot of blue hairs at the Olive Garden, so I don't think I can trust it. I think that's part of the problem too.
It's not Roccabono's Peppermill. I mean, it's not.
The Peppermill. I've eaten there a few times.
I like that you said the full name too.
Yeah.
Laugh when I see that name, and I'm like, oh, that's so good.
Yeah, they don't exist no more.
What, the Peppermill?
Yeah.
They just recently.
I was gonna say, I feel like I just went there like a year ago.
It was pretty recent.
It's gone.
My mom was like shocked by
Ain't there no more?
They're closing the Peppermill. Oh no!
Listen, I'm not going to call you Mama Wu there.
I've never been there.
I
I remember it was a hot spot for high school dances, but I went there one time, I think. But I couldn't tell you if it was good or bad or what I even got.
That's where Dylan and Jimmy's, I think, like one of their parties before their wedding was. An engagement party or couple, I forget what it was.
We can file this for a later one to talk about the best Italian places in the city.
Sure.
Maybe.
Did anybody go to Italian Fest out in Canada?
Nope.
Not named Olive Garden.
I saw a few friends post pictures of them at the Italian Fest, but did not partake in that. Actually, I got caught in traffic.
A couple of friends we saw.
Well, I was driving down Jeff Highway on Saturday, trying to get to Williams, and they had it all blocked off, and I didn't know why. And then I found out after the fact it was because of whatever the Italian festival, whatever they called it was.
Italiana Fest or something like that.
Festa Romano.
Or something.
Something like that.
I saw the signs around town.
I did.
Go on.
I did see pictures of.
You have a little line, yeah.
I did see pictures of people holding Peronis at it, so at least they upgraded the beer, because Heather and I went a couple of years ago thinking that they were actually going to have Italian beers, and then we got out there and it was like Mick Ultra and Bud Light. And I'm like, what the hell is the purpose of calling this Italian Fest if you're not going to have Italian beer? But I actually saw some pictures on Facebook and people were holding Peronis, so I think that, actually shows that they're trying to make it Italian.
Yeah, but they got to keep certain beers stocked up for the Kennebras and the people of Harahan.
Yeah. They got to pander to their audience.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You can have it out there, but at least if you're calling yourself Italian Fest, at least have some Italian beers,
Yeah, it's in the right place though, because that's my favorite is Induce's, which is there in Rivertown.
I did like the Oktoberfest when it was out in Rivertown. I thought it was.
I think it's better when it was there.
It was convenient. Parking was a whole lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm complaining. I do like the current location too.
It's okay, yeah, but I feel like it's less kid friendly. I think.
Now, you can't get me to go to Olive Garden, but you could talk me into going to Induce's. I've never been there.
Induce's is fantastic.
So if you want to do a pod night,
so.
you can do a pod night.
That's where we went for my birthday last year. Sarah asked me I'm going to take you out for your birthday. Where you want to go? I'm like, Induce's. Let's do it.
Thanks for the invite.
So it was my birthday.
My mom keeps asking where Todd and I want to go for our birthday.
Texas Roadhouse.
No, I've never been there, so.
What?
Well, go back. So surprise, you haven't been to Olive
There you
Garden.
go. Now we got to trade off Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, exactly. I will go to Texas Roadhouse if you go to Olive Garden.
Oh, then don't worry about it then. I'll tell you this, and I'm going to say something probably pretty controversial because everyone you talk to who goes to Texas Roadhouse, and if Mike were here, he'd probably get up from the table and slap me. The cinnamon bread at Texas Roadhouse? Overrated.
Ooh. I just like their regular rolls. Yeah. I guess you can put is that when you put the cinnamon butter on it, or?
Yeah.
Did you get an extra side of ranch on your salad when you were there? Somebody at the table did.
I just love that meme, and it's like the waiter goes through all the salad dressing. Oh, we have a lovely house-made balsamic vinaigrette. And the guy goes, do you have ranch?
The house balsamic.
So there's a lot of places that are popular that some of us have never been to. We'll have to do that this year. See if we can go to one place that each of us has not been to. Yeah. So yeah, fine. For the sake of
just chains or like small restaurants too.
Is not a chain.
Yeah, we can do non-chains. We open up to wherever. We'll pick a place we've been and one place that we have not been.
Pick one. We'll pick 4 restaurants. Well, if we go to Texas Roadhouse, Mike has to be present. Yeah.
Well, we know we can't go on a Sunday night.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
So it sounds like we're going to Texas Roadhouse, we're going to Jandus's, and we're going to Olive Garden. Sean, where have you not been that we need to go?
I mean, honestly, a Texas Roadhouse, I think I went to one of those on a vacation. I don't even remember. So that would be, I'm not going to say it's the first time, but I don't remember shit about the place. So.
There's a little lunch spot on Diamond Road we can hit up one day.
Visions?
I mean, I haven't got my eyes checked in a while.
Because I'll tell you. Don't snot on your phone.
Travis, you got a little lanyard coming out of your nose.
I know, it's going to blend with this table.
Oh, God. Well, I don't know how to segue in or out of that.
See, where are we talking about on Diamond Road? If it's not Visions.
It's Visions.
Okay. I was going to say.
We were talking about the barbecue joint across the street from Visions.
Oh, by Shishi's.
I mean, my grandma used to live on Diamond Road.
Well, you were going to take
chicken across the street.
I thought you were going to say my mom has been your grandmother has been to Shishi's or Visions. I'm like, I have so many follow-up questions for her.
Maybe so. The OG Tower of Pizza was on Diamond Road.
Oh, really?
My dad used to go there growing up.
Oh, Tower.
That's the one. When I used to go to my grandma's house, they had the big tall sign that was the arrow with the lights and we pointing into the building.
It's another day. Best pizza in the city.
Look, I do love Mason Tower. I'm not going to lie.
Tower's very good. Very, very good. That's Amore is also very good.
But there's I don't think Tower Pizza has pineapple pizza.
They're very basic. Yeah.
I mean, they have one where I can't remember the name of it. I think it's a Tower Special that actually has like Italian sausage on it that's really good. An artichoke, I think.
Yeah.
That's the one I usually
That's
get.
probably their that's probably their best
one. Jandusa pizzas are really awesome.
So let's before we head into this pizza debate, what is y'all's normal pizzas? And let's not talk about. Well, I guess we can talk about like if you're ordering from like a Papa John's or something like that. But let's say if you go into like a Theo's, someplace that has like a lot of different variety as far as what kind of pizza you can get. What are y'all normally ordering?
Usually for me, some kind of meat lovers.
Okay.
Mixture of meats or whatever, but I don't know, like
meat sweats.
I mean, I used to like gumbo pizza or something like a Reginelli's that has shrimp and artichoke on it.
I'm going to throw an off the wall one here, but have you ever had the meat lovers pizza at Chuck E. Cheese?
It's gone.
Maybe in my life.
That's off the wall.
Well, Todd and I worked there for a couple of years, and or maybe like 6 months. Maybe me and Jen. 6 years. It was there 6 months in high school.
It felt like 2 years, but it was 6 months.
It was actually a really fun place to work in high school. But one of the perks of working there was you got to take pizza home with you at the end of the night. And my favorite there was definitely the meat lovers. It was awesome. The veggie pizza there was good too.
If it's chain pizza, like for home, I'll probably do a Supreme because I like all the toppings, or meat lovers. If I'm out somewhere, I'm probably going to pick Mid-City Pizza as my favorite pizza, and the Mid-City Meat Monster, which is also they're probably their version of meat lovers, has everything, and it's really good. It's got some spicy Italian sausage on it. That's probably my favorite. But I'll try most anything with kind of toppings outside of pineapple.
So,
anchovies?
No anchovies either.
So I need to go to Mid City Pizza, man. I've never been there, so
I
wonder where it's located.
So there's technically two locations. There's the one on Bank Street closed after the owner passed away a couple of years ago, but they just announced that they're reopening it fairly soon. The other location is actually across from Tulane's baseball stadium.
Okay. They bought out Naked Pizza?
It might have been Naked Pizza before, but it's that little mini shop that's Mid City Pizza. If you look at the menu,
Naked Pizza probably sucked for a while. I never ate there. I just knew. I looked at a place and I was like, Naked Pizza, and my wife explained that it was like supposedly like healthy pizza or something like that.
That's why it was naked, like naked chicken.
Sure.
That's why I probably closed.
Where the waitress is naked.
Really naked.
I mean, we can go to Mid City Pizza before a game, get a pie, go over to watch a game and eat in the parking lot. Try it out.
Is the third game in the Pelican Cup going to be back at Tulane?
I'm not certain.
I think so, because both of them, 2 out of 3 last year were UNO, I believe.
That probably alternates, yeah.
My buddy George, who has listened to a few episodes, he actually works for Southeastern Sports. And he keeps trying to say like, if y'all want to come, I'll swing y'all some free tickets to UNO versus Southeastern. He's like, I'll get y'all right behind home plate. So,
what are we waiting for? Let's do it.
Follow it up with a gnarly barley trip, of course.
That's must. That's a must.
But or before the game, depending on if it's a night game, But back on the pizza talk, I actually have 3 go-tos. I'll usually and an honorable mention. I've got 6 honorable mentions. Like going back to Tower of Pizza. Like Tower of Pizza is probably my favorite pizza place. But if I'm going there, I usually go with pepperoni, mushroom, and onion. That's my 3 toppings there. But if I go to a place like Theo's, I'm probably getting either barbecue chicken pizza or Hawaiian pizza. And Patrick made this question about pizza. Does pineapple have a place on pizza? I think it absolutely does. The Hawaiian is one of my go-tos.
I think the people that hate on it online is like it became a fad to hate on pineapple on pizza with the memes and shit. It's like, I find it pretty good.
Let me just clarify.
Sweet and salty clash.
I'll just clarify with this. I like pineapple.
This guy
I have
likes
no problem.
This guy likes pineapple on his pizza.
Upside down or right side up?
He likes one with a knife in it.
I have no issue with pineapple.
He hollows out a hole.
I'm just going to stop there.
Carves out a hole and puts his dick in the bun.
Oh my God.
He shall remain nameless. Sweet Jesus.
You said it.
I was going to say, but the upside down pineapple, something on those lines, but
go on.
I don't think
this
takes in that.
This is a safe space. Just pretend the microphone isn't there.
I'll just stop right there.
No. Go on.
There's no swinging. It goes one way and doesn't come back.
That's where I was going.
It ends up in a barrel of acid.
Soaking in a bathtub.
After going one way.
Would this person shove the pineapple stem up his ass?
Probably.
Very possible.
Gives off those vibes.
Now that took a turn.
What movie was that? Wasn't it like that Dane Cook movie where his friend was like fucking a grapefruit or something like that? That's what I mean.
I thought you were talking about the Dahmer TV show.
No joke about Little Nicky, which still to come. Adam Sandler top 5.
That won't take very long. I can tell you that right now.
Segueing way too fast. You want me to bring it all the way back? I never shouted out the pig nachos at the Zephyr Stadium. I used to love it.
Oh, those were good.
The nachos with the pulled
Ain't
pork.
this shit? Now we're going back full circle and giving 2 shout-outs to the Shrine on Airlines before they were controlled by rugby.
Thank you. And shout out to the Mosquito Man making that fucking noise right now.
And shout out to Thirsty Thursdays where you got like $2 beers.
That was my dinner.
Speaking of beers, what is everybody drinking tonight?
Hold on, Thirsty Thursday. I'd go to Thirsty Thursday and get those big nachos as my dinner. Okay.
Sean's going to finish his point. God damn it!
I was circling back to our first topic, or one of our first topics.
Todd's doing exactly what he was saying he didn't like.
What's everybody drinking?
No, but I'm not saying it out of nowhere though. It's just kind of the full circle is here.
Well, no, we're segueing one to the next, and yeah.
Well, I didn't even finish. I didn't even say my opinion on the pizza.
Go. I don't think anybody finished.
I think we were coming back to that.
I did. I said my honorable mention. Sean said he liked the meat lovers, and you went.
Do we need to make a top 5 of topics on this pod right now? How many topics do we have?
It's going off the rails.
Top 5 things we hate about other people on the podcast and what they do on the podcast.
Sure. Travis and his 6 honorable mentions.
Todd getting interrupted. Todd banging on the mic, on the table.
All right, so what kind of pizza do you like? My go-to was if we jump all the way back to wasn't our first episode when we did the restaurant top 5? When was that?
No, that was like, so it's probably like
maybe a third or fourth episode, something like that.
That just sounds terrible. It was with Mike, so it was probably third or fourth episode.
No, but it was like I'm thinking back to our first episode was the football player episode.
Okay,
and that was at Mike's house also. But I think the next one at Mike's house was the top 5 on our restaurants.
Yeah,
Pizza Florence cracked my top 5. Yes, is local pizza place that closed. They closed down a few years back. Yeah. Pizza Florence,
college staple.
The endearing nickname P-Flow. The barbecue chicken pizza there was the bomb. It had the shaved chicken on it, which I'm pretty sure they probably did for like.
I used to love the grilled chicken salad the same way.
The shaved chicken, yeah. I'm pretty sure they did it for like cutback purposes, but it worked.
It was good. Whatever it was.
The barbecue sauce. I don't know what barbecue sauce they used in the pizza, but it was perfect. They had the rude Russian waitress that kind of served, that waited on you every time. The inside looked like a gas station bathroom that served pizza, but it was phenomenal.
The waitress, you mean a buddy of mine that used to go there on purpose so you could hit on her?
The one that that had the attitude and slammed the fucking pizza on the table when she brought it, like she was on her period 24/7. But Pizza Florence, P-Flow, yeah, she was on her flow 24/7. Pizza Florence, though, comes at number 5. I wish it was still around. Rest in peace.
It's a good selection because we ate there pretty frequently. Yeah.
I don't even remember what I said on the top 5.
And Pizza Florence had the best barbecue chicken pizza around. The thin sliced chicken, the barbecue, whatever barbecue sauce they used went perfect with it. Served by a rude Russian waitress. Yep. Rude Russian waitress that looked like she was on her period all the time and just slammed the fucking pizza on your table.
That chicken was the same they used to put on their grilled chicken salad and stuff. The thin sliced chicken, I miss that. I used to love that salad.
But if I'm, kind of piggybacking on that, that was my favorite pizza there. But if I'm going to like a gourmet place, like a Theo's or someplace that has multiple varieties of pizza, I'm looking for barbecue chicken. If I'm going for a second option, it's definitely Hawaiian, pineapple with Canadian bacon or whatever it is that they have on it. Those are my favorite 2 pizzas right there.
The restaurant episode was back around episode 10, so it was like November last year. We had that conversation.
And look, even if we do like my kid's school at Airline Park, they will do pizza nights from Papa John's every Wednesday night. And we usually take part in that, and I'll get the barbecue chicken pizza, and I will get pineapple put on top of it. So
nice.
It's kind of mixing the best of both worlds there.
Yeah, my only hesitancy with chicken on pizza sometimes is that the chicken can get dry if they don't cook the pizza properly. So if it's not like a really good place, the chicken will end up being dry, and then it just kind of ruins it. So you end up needing the barbecue sauce to help out the dry chicken on the pizza.
It can be chewy too if they don't use good chicken.
True.
Yeah, we don't need that like frozen Sam shit,
Why is Sam's frozen catching a stray from you? What's wrong with frozen Sam's pizza?
I'm not talking about the pizza. I'm talking about the chicken.
Oh, okay.
Like the bag frozen chicken that's like chewy, like Tyson. Yeah.
I've got a bag of that in my freezer right now.
Tyson.
Jeez, why all the Tyson chicken hate?
Mike Tyson chicken.
That's so
It's
coffee.
Tyson.
Fun fact, though, as much as I'm a ham guy, as we've heard in the previous episode or whatever, that I'm not a huge fan of Canadian bacon.
Ooh, I like it.
I mean, I'll eat it on pizza, but I don't know why it's just not a go-to topping as much as I like ham. Because is it ham? You know, Canadian bacon just sounds like a euphemism.
Not to like jump back to a topic from earlier, but it just got brought to my attention, or just something that popped in my head. Talking about bagels, cream cheese on bagel, and also some prosciutto. I like a little prosciutto on my,
You know
on
what
my
else
bagel.
goes really good on a bagel is thinly sliced salmon. Well, I mean, thinly sliced salmon.
Or tuna.
If you remember it might have been the first 2 cruises we went on, they had a sandwich, a little sandwich, I don't know what to call it, shop, because it was more like a little fucking kiosk. But they had a sandwich little place, and one of the options on it was a salmon bagel. And me and Travis, I think, got that every day. It was good lunch.
I like going to like Sam's or Costco and buying like the thin slice salmon and ham like pack, and just putting that on the bagel or a piece of toast with some an avocado or some cream cheese. Some of that. I don't like cream cheese outside of that though. I only do it on the bagel.
I think it's accurate. It's pretty much the only time I eat cream cheese.
I like cream cheese and pepper jelly.
Yeah, you put pepper jelly on it, spread it on a cracker. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little party favor. Poor Patrick, did you say what your favorite go-to pizza is? You said Supreme most of the time.
Yeah, if I order like a chain pizza, I'll probably do Supreme or Meat Lovers. But I can eat just pepperoni with mushrooms or pepperoni with like green onion, something like that. I can just eat pepperoni. I do also like every now and then from Reginelli's a Detroit style pizza.
I still haven't had that yet.
It's pretty good with the extra sauce on top.
Like the line.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. You said it's from Reginelli's?
There's more than one place that has it, but that's probably that's usually where I would get it from.
Pizza Hut, one of them's been advertising the crap out of those.
Yeah, Pizza Hut has it. If you want a nice version of it, you could do Reginelli's. Fuck you! You have no one to talk. After it came out of your nose earlier.
That was more than land, yeah.
It's funny, the pizza that we get, that me and Sarah get, because she doesn't eat pork, so she gets a veggie pizza usually. She doesn't eat sausage, pepperoni, stuff like that. That 3 toppings, you get a 3-topping pizza for $10.99.
Sounds like y'all need to go to Chuck E. Cheese and get the veggie pizza.
Half the pizza has mushrooms, bell peppers, and black olives, and the other half has bacon, pepperoni, and sausage on it. They're probably, what is this dude doing when I order this pizza?
I forget the kind of pizza they call it, where it's usually just non-meat. It's like not Mediterranean.
Reginelli's has one that's called Mediterranean. It's like artichoke hearts and
those actually aren't bad.
Those are pretty good. Yeah.
For someone who, well, it's going to sound bad if I say I like meat on my food and pizza.
You do.
You know, you love what you love.
You like sausage?
I do. I really do. Just meaty, moist,
girthy,
juicy,
with slapping some sauce on it. Oh, I like meatballs too.
2 balls and 2 meatballs and a brat.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Right down the middle.
Was it Patrick mentioned that the Detroit style pizza? What are y'all's opinions on Chicago deep dish?
I thought it was a little overrated, given the time and preparation and all that.
Yeah, the problem, is that Amore? Is that place still around?
Yes.
Yeah, they still open.
I mean, they have a good Chicago style deep dish. You got to wait forever for it, and Charles just blew it. But the only problem is you can't. When I'm eating pizza, I like to eat 3 or 4 slices at a time. With the Chicago deep dish, you're lucky if you can eat 2.
Yeah.
Without feeling really full.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
It's good to have every now and then, but like 1 slice is your meal for the night.
Yeah, the pizza's only like so big around. It's like a freaking frisbee.
I think the kicker is, like y'all said, the weight. The weight is the you sit there waiting an hour just to eat a pizza.
Now I'll say this: if you're in Chicago, especially if you're going to go to a ball game, You kind of, most people will go to like Lou Malnati's or something like that, sit down, order some drinks, order the pizza when you sit down and just have drinks, because it's going to take you 45 minutes or so to get your pie.
We did a Pizza Uno when we went there.
Get pie. Night from New York.
You know, as soon as I said pie, I immediately felt like a douchebag, because people who say pie when they literally mean pizza, just say pie. Just say pizza. That's
an old Brian Regan when he's like, I was in New York. This guy's like, hey, buddy, you want to go halves on a pie? And he's like, I thought the guy wanted to get some pie. He was like, I didn't know what to say. Apple?
There's a guy I know, and I follow a lot of his YouTube videos. He's from Pennsylvania, but spent a lot of time in New York. So I'll give him a pass when he says pie. That's what they say in there.
Said pop and shit like that, you know, in Minnesota or wherever.
Yeah. But anyone else who calls it a pie, unless you work in a pizza restaurant, it's a pizza. Don't call it a pie. Yeah. You're not anything special.
Like the Jersey folks, they put on Kitchen Nightmares and stuff, and they all talking like stereotypes, and it's like, is this really? I mean, like they picked the most stereotypical families. Exactly. Yeah. It was called like Davino, like I forget what the name of the restaurant was. It was like Davino's or something, and it was like all like stereotypical Italian.
That cake boss guy, you know, with that's out in Jersey. You know, they all talk like that. Jersey.
Well, you have your
muff cabbage.
What's the Giants quarterback that filled in Tommy DeVito? He leaned into his Italian New York roots,
especially with his agent.
His agent too. Yeah,
Tommy Cutlets.
It worked for him though. I think
weren't the Saints the team that like shut that shit down? He was on the sideline wearing some green suit. And we beat the crap out of him.
I just remember a lot of our defensive players taunting him by doing the Italian hand.
Somebody sacked him.
Yeah,
that's funny.
But yeah, so if you're listening, don't call it a pizza. Don't call it a pie.
Soda pop.
So,
cold drink.
You know, I guess we kind of moving.
Soft drink.
I guess kind of moving on from the food talk. You know, we started out with some sports talk. We can kind of go back in where, you know, this past weekend was NFL Combine weekend. Did anybody have anything noticeable that stood out at the Combine? If y'all watched any of it,
Xavier Worthy crushing the 40-yard dash.
And other things. No. Crushing it.
I don't know where you were going with that one. I didn't.
PC stands for push crushing.
I don't remember there being many quarterbacks that threw at the Combine, or at least many that I saw. A lot of the big high profile quarterbacks didn't go.
But supposedly, what's his name had trouble with the whole. His passing, McCarthy. Yeah, McCarthy from Michigan had trouble with the passing drills.
He doesn't seem like the most polished passer, so I could see that being the case.
Yeah. One guy that stood out to me, I know talked about Worthy and with the 40-yard dash time, but have you seen what Ladd McConkey did at the draft? The receiver from Georgia. Man, he was like in almost top 10 in every category.
His gauntlet was pretty impressive.
I worry with Carson as a Georgia fan. He's follows there. He's a Ladd McConkey, Brock Bowers guy. The problem with Ladd McConkey is like he couldn't stay healthy at Georgia. It's like every couple of games he was sitting out with an injury, and that would be my worry with him going to the pros. But great route runner, great hands. Had a really impressive combine. Probably really helped his draft stock. But I guess my worry with him is, will his health be able to transition over to the pros?
Yeah. I think his biggest hurdle will be being named Ladd.
Yeah.
But outside of that, talent-wise, the kid, he's got it. He can run routes. He catches the ball. He can block. He's a pretty quick. He's not the fastest athlete by any stretch of imagination, but he's got some speed. So I think he'll transition well to whatever team gets him playing as like a number 2 or 3 receiver.
Yeah, he could be a Hunter Renfrow type slot guy.
It's a good idea.
I was thinking he's like a Swiss Army knife kind of player. You could probably put him linebacker in the backfield and let him run out the backfield and put him in the slot. He's not really going to be on the outside as like a 1 or a 2 receiver, but he's going. I definitely think he's going to have a good enough NFL career if he can stay healthy.
And like you said, a lot of the bigger name quarterbacks might not have done a whole lot there, and maybe for the fact that I think a lot of these draft, we'll use quotation marks,
or parentheses, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but they can say, a lot of guys can really help their draft stock by going, especially if they're further down, ranked by Kuiper and McShay and those type of guys. Whereas if one of these highly rated guys goes to the combine and doesn't have a great workout, they would be worried, like, okay, maybe I'm going to drop off if I participate in this stuff. So probably not a bad game plan for those guys who didn't,
I think it just depends, and a lot of time, like the quote unquote experts, it's hard to get it right, and no matter how much you know about football, how little you know, you can just be wrong. Yeah. Look at what Zach Wilson did at his combine. He wowed everybody with that throw from the right hash to the left hash, 60 yards down the field. But then you watch his play, and it didn't really match up to the hype that he had.
He rocketed up to the number 2 overall pick.
Right.
So like guys, so go ahead. Well, the guy that since we're talking about quarterbacks, totally dominated the combine. Tennessee's quarterback Joe Milton was throwing bombs at the combine yesterday, right on the money.
He's going to be interesting because he can throw the ball a ton. He can throw the ball really far. His accuracy is his problem. They could have beat Alabama if he were a more accurate passer.
Well, if you remember 2 other guys who can throw the ball a ton that were drafted high. And
Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus Russell and Kyle Bowler were 2 guys that come to mind. Kyle Bowler, they're showing videos where he's on the 50-yard line throwing the ball through the goalpost on one knee. And, how good was his pro career? So, to me, it's more about accuracy than arm strength. I'll take the accuracy any day of the week over arm strength.
Sure, look at Drew Brees. He didn't have the strongest arm, but he could put a ball anywhere you wanted to. Yeah.
But what about Chad Pennington?
He was one of the most accurate QBs in NFL history.
Alex Smith didn't have a big arm. He could, for the most part, he'd get the ball in pretty much any window he wanted to.
Nice long career. Until he almost had his leg amputated. But guys I don't know where Worthy was ranked, among wide receivers, but I'm sure that 40 time probably bumped him up. And McConkey, same kind of thing, coming off of an injury. I think his combine helped him, but I wonder if some guys lay off of the combine because of those reasons. A lot of stock goes into this. Maybe if I don't have a good day, they could drop me a little bit.
I think the combine in general is getting devalued a little bit because you saw how many NFL coaches don't go. Yeah. I know they said McVay started this trend of not going. He just does player interviews online, and maybe that's because of a post-COVID thing, and he just kind of stuck into that routine. But I saw a few coaches don't go to it, but coach like Andy Reid still goes. And I think there's something for getting in front of someone. Let's say you're doing a job interview. You can do a job interview online, sure, but getting that person in front of you to talk to them, to look them in the eye, see how they react to you talking to them. Do they look down? Are they kind of timid? Or you might pick up on something that you see in person as opposed to just seeing it online, and you have less time to, let's say, make it not scripted, but you get a more natural, raw reaction. So I feel like the combine coverage is increasing, even though less coaches are going to the combine and fewer players are attending or only doing certain drills at the combine.
Yeah. All I can say is, why do they make the linemen run to 40? Because it's just a joke every year when they're 5'5" and stuff. It's is there that one random lineman that's going to have a fast 40 time or something?
I think for some of the linemen, let's say a D lineman, they want to see you run it just so they can kind of judge your speed to run down a
O-line, because the O-line just looks like a joke. It looks like it's taking them an hour to run the 40.
Right. I think that's the only real benefit to that was just being if you have a guard that's going to be pulling around the line to see how fast he can run.
I know, it's just you see the skilled players and they look like lightning, and then you see the linemen look like they're freaking doing somersaults running the 40.
What was the Georgia D lineman from a year or two ago that ran a 4.9 at 300 something? Jordan Davis?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, from Philadelphia. I think he ran 4.7, 4.8 at 320 something plus pounds.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff that is scary and impressive at the same time.
Yeah. So, overall, I guess we'll just have to kind of see, how it goes. I know we'll be kind of tuning in, especially as Saints fans, to see, what they do this year.
The draft is in a month.
Yeah, end of April.
End of April. Okay. we have plenty of time to kind of get ready for like draft talk, and we could probably do a whole episode about what we think the might happen in the draft. What are they going to do with Justin Fields? I thought they were going to have an answer on that whole situation or a resolution by now, but it feels like that might be coming soon. Yeah. Whether they're going to keep him or move him, and or to which team is going to get him.
I sure hope he doesn't go to the Falcons. That's all right.
I think it's either the Falcons or the Steelers right now are the favorites to get him. And yeah, if he goes to the Falcons with a competent head coach and OC, that could be a problem because they have the talent on offense to do some damage, especially in our weak division.
Really early on, we can kind of maybe end the segment with this real quick. Like, if you had to take like a pre-pick on what you would like the Saints to do with their first round pick, what would you like to see?
I don't think we're not up high enough to grab anyone of world like just gonna make a market difference. I think we at some point we'll need another receiver because let's be honest, we've got one good receiver, an up and coming receiver in Shaheed who's gonna make a name for himself. I think as he progresses and gets better. But we don't have a number two, really.
Receiver is probably one of those options. Tight end is another option.
Barry can step up, and let's say O-line or D-line. But, yeah.
And that's the thing for me is the O-line.
Yeah, I think our O-line is starting to get pretty depleted.
We need to get like a stud rusher, because Cam Jordan's not in it anymore. We need like an Aiden Hudson or somebody like that.
I think we're going down this rabbit hole and realizing the Saints have more needs than we really want to admit.
I think the team needs to go down that rabbit hole.
Because my big thing is I would love to see Brock Bowers keep dropping and have. I've seen mock drafts where he's predicted to go like in the top 10, but then you also see ones where he could potentially fall. One way he could potentially fall to like pick 20. So I mean, I think if he's there, I'd love to see the Saints grab him. Because
he's going to be highly coveted. So I don't know how far he's going to fall, but I don't see him lasting too long because the kid's a stud. He's wherever he goes. Hopefully, it's not anywhere in our division or any.
I could totally see him being like that. If you remember Jeremy Shockey's rookie year on the Giants, I could totally see him having a rookie year similar to that.
Yeah. I think a lot of it will depend upon what happens at number one and what teams do about Justin Fields. What teams trade up to get a quarterback that need one? Like, what are the Giants going to do? Do the Patriots stay at number 3, or do they move back and keep Mac Jones but find more talent at O-line and receiver to kind of maybe help him out, because they really screwed him over in his development with the whole Patricia as your OC kind of thing.
The Pats are going to get Russell Wilson. Yeah, right.
Where does he end up? Who knows?
I thought he was the front runner for the Steelers. So I don't know.
I think they're still in the mix for him.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just don't see him as a Falcon.
I'm curious if the Steelers give up on Pickett that quickly. I know last year he had a really down year, but he invested a lot with him drafting him in the first round.
I feel like we have just about enough of a book on him to kind of know what he is, or maybe at least where the ceiling is. And I don't know if they can win with that, because you saw what Mason Rudolph did in coming in on the back end and not having a lot of playing time, and he looked better than Pickett probably.
Yeah.
Maybe not at Pickett's highest. Rudolph wasn't as good, but I think he's much closer to the Pickett ceiling than
Mason Rudolph play didn't make Pickett look that much better. It made him look like interchangeable.
Right. I feel like with the running back and wide receiver and tight end talent that team has, and the defense when TJ Watt is healthy, they're not a quarterback away from contending for like an AFC championship or a conference championship, but they're a lot closer. So I feel like that's why they're probably in the Justin Fields sweepstakes, probably just as much as Atlanta is.
Yep.
And honestly, I feel like Pittsburgh, if they're going to make a move, and if, let's say, Fields, they need to go get Justin Fields before Atlanta does, because they seem closer to being a quarterback away than Atlanta does.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though it's a tougher conference, tougher division for them, they they are in dire need of better quarterback play.
Yeah.
Atlanta needed a head coach and a quarterback. But I think for the Saints, O-line, another receiver, or receiver depth somewhere like that.
Tight end.
Probably, tight end, pass. I mean, a lot of teams need a lot of things per se. Like Baltimore needs more weapons. Like because OBJ is older, and I don't know if he's going to be even re-signed with them because he was on a 1-year deal. But
I think the playoffs kind of showed that they were kind of over him and ready to fizzle him out. And even though Zay Flowers had his massive follies, he's definitely their receiver of the future there.
Absolutely. What are the Bucks going to do? Or do they are they going to re-sign Baker? Can they keep Mike Evans? Because he talked the other day about wanting to play on a team that has a chance to win a Super Bowl with a quarterback that's not a rookie or new, and some other parameters he put in. Plus, he wanted to be paid like a top wide receiver. Well, that limits his options.
Obviously, I'm not a Bucks fan by any stretch, and I'm a Baker fan. But I think for Baker's sake, if he wants to re-sign there, he's going to probably need Mike Evans to stay. Yeah,
I thought they were kind of all in on re-signing Baker.
I'm pretty sure they're going to re-sign him.
I think they will, but they haven't finalized anything yet. So I think there's still some room for something to happen. But I think the bigger thing for them right now is figuring out what they're going to do with Evans, because people have been talking about Evans maybe going to Kansas City because it fits the criteria of what he was asking for outside of maybe being paid like a top 5-10 receiver. But would he take a discount to go play with that team and probably be their number one receiver?
Oh, yeah.
Which would be, for him, a great fit. And it would make Kansas City kind of scary.
Now everybody wants to play with Mahomes, so.
True, and I think you'll see a lot of people take a discount to go play with KC, but KC needs
Juju Smith-Schuster did it and got a ring.
Right. They need to worry about Chris Jones and trying to sign him and lock him out. I know they kind of restructured some of his deal to get some cap room, but then you saw the cap room went up by another like 20, 30 million. What do the Cowboys do with that? $60 million is what they're on the hook for this year. Are they going to redo that deal? Who knows?
They're going to sign Derrick Henry.
Derrick
Henry and Tony Pollard would be a nice 1-2 punch.
I've been hearing that they're interested in Saquon.
They are.
Or that.
Yeah, I think Dallas probably will be in play for one of those two. I think also Saquon was talked about with the Ravens as well, and the Texans. Because talking about Baltimore needing to stack talent, they need a consistent running game because their running back's always getting hurt. Gus Edwards is great, but he can't make a full season.
Gus Edwards not a starter.
No.
It's funny how you're saying this because I've heard rumors that Henry might be going to Baltimore, where he'd almost like fill in like that Gus Edwards type role, and then Dallas gets Barkley and Houston goes to Pollard. So it's going to be interesting to see what that carousel looks like.
Yeah, go ahead, Joel.
No, I was just trying to I guess I can say when I say I don't picture that, so-and-so being on whatever team, it's like Tom Brady going to the Bucs kind of ruined all that. It's like anyone can go anywhere. I remember laughing, Tom Brady's rumored to go to the Buccaneers. I was like, what? And laughing. And then he goes there and wins the Super Bowl. It's like,
another running back that's a favorite of ours was what they do with Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
The Raiders, I think, were in play for him from some things I saw.
Yeah.
What does Devontae Adams do?
I don't even want to know what Eckler's problem was this year. It's like the team just sucked in general. I know he was hurt here and there, but whatever.
Probably a combination of all of that.
He probably, with his heart, probably wasn't in this season.
Well, his role got reduced a little bit, plus the injury, so who knows. But that could have been also the coaches who thankfully got rid of him.
Right. I don't know. Maybe he could be revived with Jim Harbaugh there. Who knows?
Maybe. Does Harbaugh go get Blake Corum?
Yeah.
If they move from Eckler, he knows him, so there's some familiarity with him. Who knows? Devontae Adams is kind of up in there, but I think he's going to stay. But the Raiders also need to use a quarterback.
Yeah. True. Jesus, yeah.
What do the Broncos do for a quarterback?
Jimmy G is like a backup.
I think he's got it. He'll figure it out.
There you go. Jimmy G's going to go to the Broncos.
They're better off keeping Russell Wilson. I mean, like, statistically, Russ wasn't that bad if you look at the numbers.
I know. When you look at his career numbers, his quarterback rating was like 92, and that was like his quarterback rating for most of his seasons.
I think he had 28 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
It's like, what did they expect from him? I don't understand.
It's just he's not made for the offense that Sean Payton likes to run.
It's called the team was still shit, so they're going to blame the quarterback. Whereas, like, the Steelers, like when Kenny Pickett's, not want to say suckage, but being just okay was like overshadowed by the team winning games. Defense and mediocre quarterback play.
Kenny Pickett also couldn't really push the ball down the field, and that's what Russ does well, is throw the ball downfield along with scrambling, getting out of the pocket, and throwing kind of like on the run a little bit.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh has 2 excellent wide receivers that Pickett didn't use to their full potential.
Right. Pickens, when he would flash some, good stuff, it was like, why don't they use this guy on every freaking play? Because he'd catch a 2-yard pass and turn it into a 75-yard touchdown.
Yeah, there's a lot of wide receivers in the draft that it's going to be interesting to see what they do, like Rome Odunze from Washington, Xavier Worthy from Texas, who ran the record for the 40 at the Combine. A lot of receivers. I think they were talking about if the Giants stay at number 6 and don't get a quarterback, they have to draft a wide receiver because they have nothing other than the tight end, Darren Waller.
Right. Their lack of receivers and Sterling Shepard, who's been on the team for like 2 decades. Yet he gets hurt every year and he's like barely on the field.
That team is so devoid of talent, though. They're so bad. Yeah, if they lose Saquon, it's going to be a wrap.
Are the Redskins back yet? They're going to be the Redskins again?
The Commies?
Yeah, the Commies. I mean, what's their quarterback situation?
I think they're drafting. So I think the latest I saw was
Williams said he wasn't going that, right? Is that right?
Well, he walked that back a little bit.
I think he said he'd rather be there than the Bears.
I think so.
But I think Daniels is or Daniels or the other or May is rumored to go there.
Yeah, so I from what it sounds like, it's going to be Williams, then either Daniels or May, whichever one goes to. The Patriots are going to take a quarterback with the 3rd pick, which Jaden Daniels is interesting. I think he could do well. I think people have been worried about his size. He's a little smaller.
Yeah, I think he's kind of on the size.
But Lamar Jackson wasn't that much bigger than Jaden Daniels is right now. They're about the same height, probably a 10 to 15 pound difference.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson seems taller.
I don't know.
I mean, I think Jaden Daniels is like 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", which is tall enough. Lamar can't be taller than 6'4" at best. I don't know.
Lamar.
But
we're just talking about Chris Jones, and something just came on my feed that says the league sources believe Chiefs will need to offer Chris Jones $27 million to $28 million per year, and then we're going to close the deal with him. Wow, it's a lot. It's a lot of cheddar, man.
It's a lot of cheddar.
A lot of scooting bags across the table.
To put a bow on this episode, so we covered a lot of ground and a lot of random.
Did we put a bow on any of our topics?
I don't even think so.
We did a lot of segues.
We kind of
did a lot of bouncing.
We went all over the map.
The name of this episode is not to segue to another topic.
But one topic that we did not even get close to finishing, but took a detour on, was what is everybody drinking tonight?
No. Did we even segue to that, or we just threw it out in the air?
They got mentioned, and then someone
I'll probably do that with the Thirsty Thursday.
And they immediately got just turned over because, we don't know how to act.
Well, like, what are we eating?
Thank you for peeking the mic.
Well, I'll start then. I don't have anything special. I'm actually drinking a combination of the last 2 beers I was drinking on the last 2 pods, just because that's what I had left over in my fridge. And that is Zoni Mash's Making Groceries and Sam Adams Boston Lager. Sam Adams Boston Lager is probably a top 10 beer for me, but Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet there. Nothing special. Same 2 beers I had last couple of pods. I'm drinking a quaked oatmeal stout with maple and brown sugar from Tin Roof Brewing out of Tin Roof in Baton Rouge, right? Yep, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Is that the beer you had last week too?
No, I just bought this.
Oh, okay.
You shared it.
I had a sour last week.
Oh, okay.
From Gnarly Barley.
Showed a picture of it.
Yeah, I did send the picture of this probably almost a month ago. So I was waiting for my fridge to clear out to buy it. I'm a little bit disappointed in it because it just tastes like a regular stout. Yeah, I don't really taste maple and brown sugar. You can kind of smell it. There's a little hint of it. But as far as the taste goes, it's not. It just tastes like a stout. I wouldn't kick it out of bed or anything, but it's a little bit. I was a little bit disappointed because I don't really taste the maple and brown sugar. But quaked oatmeal stout with maple and brown sugar from Tin Roof Brewing in Baton Rouge.
Why would you be sleeping with a stout in your
That's
bed?
just something my dad would say.
It's a fig